Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'm going to cover The Savage Sword of Conan, Volume 12, the Dark Horse Essential Edition. So this, of course, continues my coverage of the 22-volume collection of the entire Marvel Comics run of The Savage Sword of Conan, a black and white magazine. These volumes, of course, just include the Conan content. None of the other Solomon Kane Call stuff is included. Those are collected in other volumes by Dark Horse at the time. So our Savage Sword, we've reached number 12. We're more than halfway there. This is a thick, weighty volume, so we're going to dig in. I love this Doug Beekman cover, though. And could this really be our first ape sighting? I think it is, and it's right on the front cover, so it comes very early. And we'll see what story it shows up in. And so, yeah, our table of contents, as we have come to expect, 400 and over 500 pages of content in this. Writers are Don Carr, Larry Yakata, Gary Kwapis, and Jim Owsley, who would become Christopher Priest at some point, a different pen name for that author. Art by Ernie Chan, Rudy Nebre, Gary Kwapis, Mike Dougherty, James Baldwin, and Fraser Bator. Lettering Diana Alberts, Joe Rosen, and Janice Chang. And Doug Beekman does the cover. And here's a Gary Kwapis piece right here on the inset. So let's dive in. Great Joe Jusko cover. This is issue 121. Incidentally, this covers 121 to 130. Look at that great Michael Golden cover right there. Really awesome. And some Ernie Chan right there. The first issue, 121, is Rudy Nebre's with a really nice pinup here from Ernie Chan. Very cool. So yeah, this is a Rudy Nebre story, The Fountain of Umir, written by Larry Yakata, letters by Diana Alberts. I like this story quite a bit. It, of course, has all the trademark Rudy Nebre stuff that I love. But I think toward the end of this of this particular story, Rudy kind of runs out of gas, and you'll see that. And the pencils look sort of lighter and lighter because he's doing penciling and inking here. And the artwork just feels incomplete in places in this story, much as I love Rudy. Of course, if you like other artists like Esteban Morato, guys of that school, Rudy will also be your cup of tea. I love his inks over John Buscema's pencils. Here, of course, Conan is playing both sides of a struggle, as he often does, kind of Yojimbo-like. And really, this one is unique among Savage Sword stories in that I think he really faces only mortal foes in this one, which is pretty great. Including he gets an epic battle with this guy toward the end of the story. Here in a flashback, we can see a sea monster, but only in a flashback. And here it is right here, this guy that Conan is going to be facing here. They do have a really epic battle. And it's not often that Conan is physically matched by a foe, but this guy really pushes him to the limit. And this is gorgeous artwork, very smooth action sequences. And you can see Conan here is really sweating. Their fates become inexorably entwined in a grim and final struggle. I do like Larry Yakata's scripts on this title. Really nice. I mean, obviously, Roy has been long gone now off to DC, so Savage Sword was in very capable hands with this bevy of younger, hungrier authors that were working on these scripts. And here is what I'm pointing out here with the art here sort of wavers a bit in terms of its quality, and it feels almost incomplete in spots. And yeah, not a strong finish from Rudy here on this one. Maybe he had faced the deadline of doom or something like that. Next up, issue 122, The Blossoms of the Black Lotus. Great cover by Ernie Chan. You rarely saw Ernie Chan covers on Savage Sword, and this is really nice. I do like the difference in styles from issue to issue. So we got the kind of looser, lighter touch of Rudy Nebre's, and now This next issue, we have a very heavy hand of Ernie Chan, and so capable and professional. Don Carr story, letters Joe Rosen, and all Ernie Chan. And Ernie Chan, if any artist was made to be in Savage Sword, it was Ernie Chan, because you didn't miss the color with the level of detail that he provides and the weight of his pencils and inks. There was no missing the color on this. Look at this guy. Just a menacing foe here. Mollis is his name. He towers over even Conan. Yeah, pretty incredible stuff here. The storytelling is excellent. And the violence always just intense. Look at this, head being rolled down the stairs. And of course, it's Conan who did it. I love it when he has a cloak on too. It's cool. You don't often get to see that. Here he's dispatching these pirates. And a lot of playing around with chronology and time here. Like we have a tricorn hat in the Hyborian Age. It was always kind of a loose pastiche or mix of time periods. A little bit of maybe 17th century Spanish Main stuff going on, in addition to a little bit of, sort of post Bronze Age stuff going on. So Hyborian Age was definitely a unique mix. Of course, look at this spectacular, almost full page scene. Their ship is in flames. And of course, they are marooned on this island. And we have our first creature of the issue. It took almost 100 pages, but here he is. I love the monsters, but I also like, too, when Conan is struggling against human foes. Sometimes it's more interesting. Of course, here it is here. Look at it. I talked about it, almost a full page. This is a full page, and it is gorgeous. Look at Conan with that chainmail hauberk on. Very cool, just getting right into the mix. There's this. I wonder if, so he and Conan cross swords, and this is one of those times where you see Conan wearing armor where it pays off. Very cool. It blunts that knife thrust there. And he sends the guy catapulting into this pool of sharks. So Conan doesn't really even have to finish him off. The sharks do the job. And this guy, look at this transformation sequence. Really cool. It's like something out of Sword and the Sorcerer. I love it. And these guys are some kind of toad men. Look at that. And Conan's gonna... There's one way out of here by Crom. There's one way for the desperate, and I'm taking it. So he takes off his chainmail and dives in the shark-infested pool. And he is going to try to get away. Really cool underwater sequence. And really awesome ending here as Conan escapes onto a friendly ship. And the citadel he escaped from is up in flames. Next issue, 123, Secret of the Great Stone, another Ernie Chan piece, and Debt of the Warrior, Mike Dougherty. We're going to see a lot of Mike Dougherty in this issue, too, and another great Rudy Nebre's pinup right there. Awesome. Secret of the Great Stone. So this is all Ernie Chan again. Just imagine this. These come out a month apart, and Ernie Chan he did a 40-page story. Now, this one's a little shorter. Oh, look at these two hags, these crones. This story is a little bit shorter. Oh man, this is so great page design here. I love it. Storytelling is just out of this world. But Chan was a workhorse, and he was probably inking as well. He probably was inking the regular Conan series over Buscema's pencils at this time. So, yeah, you just don't see that these days. I mean, artists obviously today have a lot more control over their work. They can make a nice living and not have to like crank out 30 plus pages a month. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's incredible. This giant demon bat. So this was a different time, and there were different expectations placed on artists, and guys like Chan just rose to the occasion every month, month after month. Conan here is confronted by these two hags in his bedroom. Again with the page design here. This is just awesome. Just awesome page design. Look at this tower. How many towers has Conan scaled in his career at this point? Dozens, probably, to get some item of power, some artifact, or in this case, rescue someone. Oh, look at this giant, very imaginative. And he sends him armless, plummeting to his death. The saber-toothed cat here. Oh, now he has to face off with these ruffians. Of course, they're no match for Conan. Love it when he does the axe throwing, really cool. Oh, and this little girl is actually not what she appears. Oh man, this is astounding. I'm gonna have to track this issue down in its original form. I have a pretty good collection of Savage Sword. I don't own this one. And this one would be well worth grabbing. This might be my favorite Ernie Chan story I've seen in a long time. It was really good. Dead of the Warrior. Here we have Mike Dougherty with inking by James Baldwin. And Dougherty would go on to have a long run on the Conan the King title. When King Conan became Conan the King and there was a lot more wars and politics and less monster fighting, Mike Dougherty was there. And it was really great military fantasy. I love it. Next up, 124, There Will Come a Stranger. Don Carr, art by Gary Quappies. Janice Chang lettering, cover Mike Golden. We saw that on the back of the volume itself. And a nice Ernie Chan pinup here. And yeah, this is strong volume because now we have a nice dose of Gary Quappies, whom I love. He is just a tremendous Conan artist at this point. Again, the details. It reminds me a lot of Tim Bradstreet in many instances. But he is such a talented sequential artist, really gifted storyteller, never skimps on a background. You kind of always know where Conan is. He just doesn't take any shortcuts. Of course, I say that and we see one right here, but I'll allow him that because, my gosh, look at what you're getting here. Just the density of these pencils and inks. Just tremendous stuff. Yeah, Gary Quappies, another of those underrated Conan artists I talked about last coverage of this series. I sang Gary Quappies' praises, and I'm probably going to be doing it quite a bit from here on out because we're going to see a lot more of Gary Quappies as these volumes move along towards the finish line of volume 22. And I wonder, I don't know the answer to this, I wonder if Gary Quappies is still around working today or not, or what his professional status is, if he got into commercial art, because it would be great. It would be great to see him do some stuff in the new Savage Sword, which has been going great guns from Titan Comics. And I don't like to feature, I buy them every month. I don't like to feature them on here because they're new and I want folks to buy them. I don't want to sort of like spoil them online. I want to respect those currently working creators. But just check out that new Savage Sword series because by and large, every issue is great. There have been a few clunkers where I didn't like the artwork, but overall, I really like the new Savage Sword. Here's Conan leaving with the booty. Nice full-page shot here. He's got his horse laden with treasure. Next up, 125, Altar of the Goat God. At the Altar of the Goat God. Jim Owsley. Script, plot and art is Gary Quappies. So we got 2 in a row from Gary Quappies. Man, keep it coming. At the Altar of the Goat God. I almost thought these guys might be the Brotherhood of the Falcon, but I didn't see that logo. Oh, cute little baby there this lady has. I always see these debates online. Can so-and-so artist draw kids or children? And it is a challenge, it seems, for comic artists, some of them, to translate from drawing like this extremely lithe or muscular figures of adults and then translate to doing children. Look at this street scene that Gary Quappy so expertly renders here. And again, this is where we're getting that mix of time periods, almost the Hyborian age, and yet we're seeing these timbered houses that you might see, in the medieval period. Look at this though. Wow. So good. And it's awesome too that they allow this action where he's fighting this mob of assailants. Through this woman's eyes, we get to see the carnage, and Conan just shows up, bloody sword. Let's get out of here. And of course, there are these prostitutes, and he's like, not interested. He's got other things on his mind right now. Look at that, the shading there, so good. And he does draw beautiful women, for sure. Which, in a Conan comic, we're used to seeing that quite a bit. Uh-oh. So there's something not right going on here. Yep, and the Living Dead, these zombies, pretty awesome. A little bit of zombie action. So cool. What a scene. Yeah, this is just, oh no. This witch woman is going to sacrifice this baby. This is terrible. Conan, hopefully, can save the day here. And this evil god here, he's got the baby in hand. Slog, catch! He throws the baby to his ally. I finally decided, Lysandra, I hate you. Slowly, the goat god's grip tightens, squeezing the life from Conan's breast. But Conan, ever resourceful, throws his sword, crushing the creature by releasing this great weight onto it. And he rescues the baby and returns it, even though his unfortunate ally dies. On to 126. The Mercenary, Larry Yukata, does the plot and art again. Or I should say Larry Yukata delivers the script, and Gary Quappies does the plot and art again when this great Doug Beekman cover that was the cover of the volume. Man, 3 Gary Quappies in a row. This one, oh, look at this lush Rudy Nebre's pinup. This is fast becoming one of my favorite volumes because this art is tremendous. 3 in a row. Look at him go. And again, look at that one-eyed elephant. It's crazy. The artwork in here, 3 months in a row, Gary Quappy is cranking out 40 pages of art. That's tremendous. Look at that siege engine. Now, there was an ape on the cover of this particular issue, so let's see if that pays off somewhere. I like the military. Oh, man, and this is a classic Gary Quappy's double-page spread here, folks. What a battle scene. Oh, my goodness. I just thought of something, too. Gary Quappy's reminds me of, there's a gaming artist, a fantasy artist named Ralph Horsley. And Gary Quappy's reminds me a lot of Ralph Horsley. And that is a compliment to both men because they're both tremendous artists. And Ralph Horsley's actually been doing some work. He just done some covers and maybe some interiors for the new Savage Sword, which I was talking about a few minutes ago. So definitely some connections there. Yeah, no payoff here, no ape in this issue. Next up, 127. Story Don Carr, art Mike Doherty and Rudy Nebre. Oh, I like this combination as I recall. Yeah, this is great. I think this is where Rudy really shines. We have Doherty providing the pencils and Rudy Nebre's just inking the hell out of them. And this is a lot more satisfying, I think that's Valeria, than what we saw in the very first issue of this collection with Rudy doing everything. It's just, it has a solidity to it that that issue didn't have. And that's because Doherty's providing all this background work. There's no shortcuts being taken here. Storytelling's brilliant. The finished artwork is brilliant. This is the best of all worlds in my mind. I could live with this art team every month on a Conan title. And getting back to my speculation about Gary Crappies, what's Mike Doherty up to? Is he still working? Got to dig into that and find out. Maybe for my next volume, I can have a little bit of extra information. I'm sure a quick Google search would satisfy my curiosity. And you can see the Mike Doherty, especially in this panel, but Rudy's finishes are obviously strong. Although here I'm seeing less Rudy and more Mike Doherty, so that's interesting. Maybe it's, yeah, this looks like Doherty pencils and inks toward the end here. Because I don't see any Rudy Nebres in these pages at all. Very interesting. Ooh, dirk to the back of the neck. Here Conan is fighting mailed knights. So, again, a lot of timeline bending. Yeah, there's no Rudy on this page at all. It's interesting. 128, Curse of the Ageless Ones. Story, Jim Owsley. Art, Mike Doherty and Fraja Batur. Cover art, David Mattingly. So this Doherty-Fraja Batur combo is what we would see a lot in Conan the King. And I really like it. It's a very grounded style. Storytelling is excellent. Look at that Conan right there. That is incredible. Wow. Curse of the Ageless Ones. Yeah, this is... I really like Fraja Batur's inks on Mike Doherty's pencils. I love them on Conan the King. I should cover some Conan the King on this show at some point. It's got to be added to my list of things I want to cover, which is long as my arm, for sure. Beautiful women here, too, as well, which is always nice in the pages of Conan to see. And we see some, looks like some werewolves. The oasis at Afikadon. As Zortai's caravan rambles onward, a host of sorcerous beastmen launch a strike. They will not live to regret it. So not ape men, but sorcerous beastmen. And I do love, and I say it a lot, I love newsprint. I love the feel of newsprint. I love the sound of newsprint. It's particularly effective in black and white, for sure. Oh, this is grisly. Yeah. Savage Sword, I mean, delivered the goods in terms of the violence, really. All right. Next up, issue 129, The Sea Mage's Daughter. Story, Don Carr. Art, Gary Crappies. Lettering, Diana Albers. Cover art, Doug Beekman. So we get a second Doug Beekman cover. And a fourth dose of Gary Crappies. Interiors, awesome. And another great Rudy Nebre's pinup. Man, this is awesome. I love this lithe, muscular Conan that we get here. Again, pirating. Look at this. This just screams Tim Bradstreet, this long panel here, with this space especially. Tim Bradstreet, it was an artist who worked a lot in the 90s. He did some comics, but I knew him best as an artist for The Vampire, The Masquerade, and other World of Darkness RPG role-play game books. He just created a style and a feel for that universe of RPG books that I think really was at the time groundbreaking. Oh, yeah, Gary Crappies is a master of the long panel, every bit of as much as Paul Smith. Really great. Oh man, look at this brutal beast fighting a badger here. Looks like it's fighting a dog. Look at this guy. What a character. Definitely. Oh my goodness. This takes the cake for this volume, folks. I don't think we're going to see anything more nasty than this right here. Look at that. Tolwar. Just bisecting him. Oh, and that's vicious as well. My goodness. This was a magazine. There was no comics code for this stuff. Oh man, that guy is creepy. So it was no holds barred. I mean, there was a lot that they brought to the table in terms of violence and a little bit of prurient stuff as well. Look at this, gorgeous. Not easy to draw water, and Crappies obviously does a tremendous job. Oh, look at this. This is like becoming his trademark. These incredible double-page spreads. Wow. It's not hard to come across Savage Sword magazine copies. You can get them for $4 or $5 a piece. If they're a little beat, a little cheaper than that, if you look. And it wouldn't be hard to assemble a collection of these outside of the volumes if you'd rather go that route. It's just going to take a little longer, unless you're lucky enough to come across a huge collection. Look at this guy, man. This guy's creepy. She's gone, isn't she? Have I lost you to her? Please, tell me the truth. The truth? What's that? The only thing between Ravenna and me is a memory. On to issue 130. I think this might be the last one or second to last one. Don Carr story, Mike Dougherty and Fraser Batur. So now we're toggling between Gary Crappies and Mike Dougherty and Fraser Batur. And I'm good with that. I would take that every other month. You're getting this incredible artwork from one team or the other. Really good. And I do love this armored Conan. This is like a almost like a later mercenary captain Conan, sort of before he takes power in Aquilonia. Oh, and here we go, Conan. A little bit of love making, also a common thing, a common scene in Savage Sword. They could be a little freer with the love scenes. Yeah, what a nice way to wrap up this volume with this great military style story. This woman here is a little bit of some kind of witch woman or vampire woman. Really cool. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Wow. You've slain my apprentice. You'll pay with her blood. You'll pay for her blood with your own. Just one drop is all I need. Conan belts her, knocks her out. There she is again. And he rides away, as he so often does. And that's it, folks. A quick, furious tour through the Savage Sword of Conan, Volume 12. Love covering this series here. I hope you enjoy it. If you did, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.